Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited for this hashtag Motivation Monday with two very special guests in the house, creator of the Skinny Confidential and the Coley Collective Tuck Bracelet, Cynthia Abi NAked. As seen so beautiful. As seen in the recent issue of the Influence Focus magazine right here. Cynthia, this bracelet has changed my life. It's fashion meets function. I haven't met a single woman who doesn't love this.
That makes me so happy to hear.
Let's start from the beginning.
The very beginning.
The very beginning.
The very beginning.
The very beginning. So your parents moved from Lebanon to America.
So we all moved here in 2000.
Okay.
I was born in Lebanon, and we moved here in 2000 with nearly nothing. I think growing up with that mentality of, you know, we have to, the American dream, you know, we're here, we have to stay here. And then my parents kind of scrambling, my dad starting his own company. He was a carpenter in Lebanon and then transitioned into being that here. And so he's always been in the design world, doing custom things, amazing interiors. And so I grew a love for design. And that being said, I, you know, in middle school and high school, I was like, oh, I want to be an interior designer. I love design. I love just anything that's very functional. Obviously, furniture is very functional. I grew a huge love for that. And so I feel like growing up, going into architecture school, which then I chose to do because I thought interior design, but then I said, what's the next bigger, better step? And for me, that was architecture school. And so I went into that, kind of just threw myself in there, didn't right out of high school, so it was very overwhelming, very stressful. Just with the long all-nighters, the projects, the building, the models, like all this stuff. So everything was happening all at once, but I was very much of a go-getter, and when I set my mind to something, I don't really take no for an answer.
Was there extra pressure for you when you mentioned the American dream? What did that mean to you, and did that add to the stress of it?
I think there was just a lot of stress in general from other people, and I think never letting that really get to me and having a goal set in mind and then kind of fighting and going towards that versus being down or versus comparing, you know, our family with other families. I think just being able to see it for what it is. Like, we're here, we're like, I'm grateful for it, you know, just being really thankful for what we have. And then just seeing my parents, you know, grow so much, so big with their company. And then my brother starting his own company at 19. He does carbon fiber goods. And so I think just having this background and my family just being very supportive and, you know, starting their own company.
Yeah, entrepreneurial.
Yeah, very entrepreneurial.
So Cynthia, I have a question for you because you did crowdfunding, correct? Is that how you started? And so tell us, would you recommend doing that? Was it a good experience? Was that hard? Did you get mentors? How did you do that?
So I did it during my 4th year finals.
No pressure.
No pressure. You know, good job. I didn't put any pressure on myself.
Sure, you had a lot of sleep that year.
I'm still trying to get it. And I think I somehow just love working under pressure. I think that's just, it's a combination of procrastinating and just, I know I can get so much done in such a short amount of time. So crowdfunding was not easy. I think asking for help was not easy. It's a hard thing for me to go out and be vulnerable and ask people for help. So I think that was the hardest part. Not having too much capital to pay for a video, pay for a company to help manage it, pay for marketing, pay for manufacturing. You know, all this was going on during finals. And I think I'm really grateful for my family's support to give me that extra little leap of a little bit of capital to then gather up as many friends as I could find to help with the video, be a part of the video to then kickstart and fund it.
We have a little look at the video I'd love to show.
Oh, yeah, there's just it's great though.
But it's great. So it's so important to create this content to really show the difference this product can do in a woman's life, and two, just how incredibly talented you are in your vision for what this business is and how it is going to affect the lives of the women, right? There she is, that hair tie on the bracelet, guilty as charged.
The video is excellent, and looking at, we have so many people that come on with products and stuff, and I think that one of the genius things about your product is it's very clear. Like, this is what it is, this is what it does. You don't have 100 products, you have one product that people can understand. And I think that that's watching startups and watching all these things. So many people it's confusing, and so it's really a brilliant product.
I think the one thing I can say about a Kickstarter video, any crowdfunding campaign, is you almost have to just so obviously compare the two. This is the issue, this is what we're doing to solve it. I think a lot of videos that kind of get lost in the world of the crowdfunding campaigns are videos that, one, are too long. It shouldn't be any longer than 4 minutes, 5 minutes tops, because people get bored. People then, if you're not showing them exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're trying to explain and convey, then, it's like, oh, the scroll down, I'm over it. And so I think that was something I had to understand and tackle, because I'm the type that my portfolio is like 100 pages. It was hard for me to slim down. It was hard for me to, cut scenes out. So I had to be very, the director of it. So I think scripting it was hard, and I did it all very quickly. I think if I went back and did it again, I think spending a little bit more time and being a little more cautious about how, what month am I launching it, and doing a little bit more research, that's the biggest thing that I would learn from it.
I have a question for you both. Is there anything in looking back that you wish you would have known before you started this journey of being an entrepreneur and creating this business for yourself? Is there anything you wish you would have known?
I've wished I would have known that this is a 24/7 job, 24/7 hour job. 24.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that works.
It's nonstop, and it is hard to shut off. And I kind of wish that I had tools and tactics of how to shut off. I was just telling you, I've learned so many things from Tim Ferriss. His podcast has been incredible.
Incredible.
He's just taught me to put your phone on airplane mode. Just all these little things, sometimes to just let it die and put it away, and not to be so controlled by the phone. So yeah, just learning to shut off and learning little tips and tricks of how to take a step back.
Yeah, I mean, growing up around my dad and brother, I think my brother especially, we're very close. He's 2 years younger than me. And he always used to tell me, it's so much more than you think. It's so much more than you think. And he's like, you can't build a building from the top down. And I'm like, I'm an architect. I can do it. And I think there was a facade that I had to break through to really see what it really was and what it really takes to, one, run your own company and manufacture products. And there's so many little things that you really don't think about. Even if you sat there and you thought, what does it take to build a company? There's still thousands, and I'm sure you go through it every day. There's still thousands of things that you don't think about until they're there, and then you're scrambling to figure it out. But you always do. I think just being positive and staying motivated and having a good support system around you, I think we're capable of doing whatever it takes.
I do think that I think that the delusion that I had before I started this was thinking that someone's going to discover you, or you're just going to start a product or whatever, and it's just going to be instantaneous. You have no idea how much people invest in it, how much time, energy, and money it takes and capital to get it going off the ground. What do you guys say about that? Because I think that a lot of times people don't talk about that part of it when they're going to their coach or whatever. By the way, you got to spend a lot of money on marketing,
No, definitely. I mean, that's something I realized with doing a Kickstarter. One, I didn't even realize how much it would take to build that Kickstarter and how much money had to come out. I couldn't work during architecture school, so it came out of my parents' pocket. And I just didn't realize. I kind of ran into it, and I put it on my lap, and I ran with it. And I think then raising $15,000 in less than a month for Coley Collective, all that money disappeared in I swear less than a month. I had to pay manufacturers, I had to market, I had to do all these little things to then made me realize, okay, I need a lot more to get this up and running. And I think just learning how to spread your money as far as it goes is a big learning game for me.
If you had just one place to put the money, let's say you're down to your last $3,000, last $5,000, and you're starting a business, where would you put it?
I would say marketing. I think marketing is so important because you really could sell anything. I think understanding the marketing game and who to market it towards, where the product is going, whose hands it's going in, I think that is the most important, because you can have an amazing product, but if you don't market it the right way, it gets lost.
Unfortunately, we're out of time, you guys, and you guys have like this wealth of wisdom and motivation, which I think is, I think people think it's motivation like rah, 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 and sometimes it doesn't happen that way. So really inspired by both your stories, and I love that you're getting so real and raw and vulnerable.
Yes, that's fun.
That's so important. As a woman, I want to hear more of what you're doing. I'm really looking forward to following your whole blog. I think it's really an epic story and guiding people in their vulnerability. And I'm so excited to see these on everyone's arms
Thank you.
here.
I need to get one on you.
I know. I always have a hairband on my wrist.
So you're guilty as charged.
So where can they find all the bracelets?
So they are on KoliCollective.com, Koli with a K, Koli, collective.com. And yeah, we're coming up with new designs. We just launched our rose gold. And so yeah, stay tuned.
Great.
Instagram. And on Instagram, @KoliCollective.
Okay, great.
We'll be right back. More on Good Morning La La Land. Stay tuned.